on?
It was on, and then it disappeared when I changed to studio mode. That was weird. So I take it hopefully people heard us at the beginning. If not, welcome to Universus. We are your hosts for the coronation of Historia Reiss into the Queen of the Walls. We have already dropped the character, and now we are back with more preview cards given to us by the amazing UVS with some really cool cards. And I am, of course, joined by Richard Plummer, who was just telling us he's going to Smiling Titan down on his locals.
Yeah, not through choice of my own. They just want to test for regional, so someone has to be the bad guy, right?
I don't think we're going to see many Smiling Titans at regionals. I think Broberg has squashed that dream with the 7-hander just shutting them down. Ryuku's
that's just Kevin, right?
I think
that's just Kevin. He could just beat anyone with a paper bag. So I think Smiling's still a boogeyman in the format that's worth testing against.
No, I think it's Ryuku that they should really be worried about. We saw 2 of them yesterday in webcam testing. However, I didn't manage to beat one of them as Levi, which was kind of funny. But people are not here to talk about the meta. We did that on Sunday. And even though we've got the Oceanic Regionals coming up, do check out Corono's Twitch stream because that'll be the place to watch it. There's your first shout out as to where the stream is going to be, because there is going to be one. They have been working very hard in the background to make sure there is a stream. And as quite rightly pointed out, we're not showing any cards. Well, here's a card. It's the back of a card.
We're teasing you, obviously.
Yeah. We're building up the hype, letting people come in. If you've ever seen a coronation, Chief, it isn't just straight in with the coronation. You've got to go for the fanfare. You've got to talk to the celebrities that are there. We've got Lenoco here, who I forgot to demod, so Lenoco has mod powers still. That's a scary thought.
But yeah, this is not a proper coronation without a bit of pomp and circumstance and endless waiting. You know, that's the British way. We queue.
Exactly. And Lenoco, of course, has seen them all, and there are some very, very cool ones. There has been some amazing reveals already. The Dobbers have just dropped theirs. David dropped his not too long ago. Tim dropped his. There's more to come. And there are some absolutely beautiful cards in the art. We saw the alt arts this week. Who was your favourite alt art, Richard?
I really like is it Aaron, the skeleton one?
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. That was pretty different. But yeah, go check out all the other content creators and check out their reveals. Obviously, give their videos a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Spread the love. So, go check out the Dobbers and Tam and Brody and Rebby and all the others and Chiefs has just done one. I just watched his sort of 5 minutes ago. So yeah, go check out everyone else. So that'll be Let's Talk EVS. So yeah, go check out everyone else's, and
we've done a fair bit of fanfare. There's enough people here. Let's move in with exactly as to who Historia is and why she should be Queen of the Walls. It's because she's humanity's hope. And I did that a little bit too soon for the transition. There we go. Humanity's Hope, a 4-diff, 3 control, 4 mid for 5 with a 1 mid block that is a charge, fury, ranged weapon on the infinity symbol with no abilities. That is just...
It's very mid, right? So it's a 1 mid block, it's a 4 mid for 5. So this is obviously sort of a bit limited filler, but it could be like a role player in a sort of keyword package, right? If you're playing one of those 4 keywords and just need another 4 diff to fit in, like a couple of copies here and there, it's not the most embarrassing, right? 4 mid for 5 isn't horrific stats. A 1 mid block is pretty decent.
Do you know who eats this up? Ryuku 1. With the VME changing zones, they want the low blocks, which 1 low mid is a very low block.
Lordy, yeah. And this is a Ryuku card, isn't it?
This is a Ryuku 1 card. This is just a 4 mid for 9 Ryuku 1 mid block that lets
No. It's a 7 low for 9.
7 low for 9. That's a 1 mid block, so it's an omni block, and VME can change it. And yeah, Ryuku 1 just eats this up for days. A 1 mid block, especially with these 4 keywords, very, very powerful. Each of these keywords.
Well, the keywords don't really matter to her, right?
No, but they do to Levi, Mikasa. Charge is going to be very good for comboing into other things.
It's a charge weapon for Jiro.
Yep, charge weapon for Jiro. This is, for its actual cost, this is a really, really good card, and I think it's understated because it's a vanilla. It is a set filler, as you said, but I think this is actually a very strong set filler. I think this is something. I
wouldn't say strong, right? I think it can be a role player. It can be a role player if you are playing like a charge through ranged or weapon package, right? And just like I say, just need a couple of extra attacks to fill in some slots on the 4 diff, mid blocks. Like, it's got a very nice block. It's going to be very good in UQ. That sort of it, right? I don't. It's not going to, blow any worlds away. No, I don't necessarily see any play outside of her. But
what else do you really want for a common? This is a very playable common. I like
exactly. Like, just from a sort of more competitive standpoint, it could see like a players like a couple of just to fill in a blank. If you're looking for those keywords specifically, otherwise this could be better options.
But how did Historia get to this position? How did Historia rise up from a Survey Corps soldier to Queen of the Walls? Well, that's very, very simple. They started by planning a coup. Planning a coup is a 1 cost, 5 control, 3 low block with enhance. I had it up a minute ago. Enhance sacrifice foundation. This attack gets -1 speed. We're planning a coup, just like the commander wrote. I doubt this. Is all we'll have to do. Eren Yeager.
So, obviously, as someone who hasn't watched or read Attack on Titan, who are they cooing against, right?
The government. That's how a coup works.
Well, I know.
I've not read it. I've not seen it, but a coup is generally against the government.
But this is solid. Like, sacking a foundation for -1 speed. It's a nice deadlock out. Obviously, you generally want deadlock outs to be offensive, but having a defensive one is just fine. Sacrificing a foundation, you can use in every attack for -1 speed. It's it's just a 1 diff. Like, it's a nice spam. It's got the low block. Solid. I think you're going to slot this in places.
You slam this in Irwin, and you're getting a wall counter because you've sacked. You've also got that other card, I think, on Death that says if you sacrifice a foundation, this attack gets -1 speed, so it doubles it to 2. Order.
Yeah, exactly.
Order just being able to, as I said, it's an offensive one, but sacking foundations is very important to the Order symbol. And
sort of think about it in terms of like Kevin's deck at the weekend, right? You sacrifice one of those foundations that then seals one of their foundations when it hits the discard pile, or makes them commit when it hits the discard pile. Whatever it is, enormous axe to then build. There's plenty of ways of getting extra value out of this, and it's sort of solid on its own. Like, just sacrificing a committed face down, getting -1 speed, just as something you can use repeatedly over the course of a turn cycle. It's just going to be again a solid sort of role player within any sort of order deck that wants a 1/5 low block, right? It's just going to be solid. It's a similar sort of idea to put incubating, not quite as free, but it fills a sort of similar role of just like repeatable speed hate.
It's a great way to get your opponent off walk the dog. If they go stun 1, you go cool, blow it up -1 speed. You're not playing walk the dog for free. Get wrecked.
Yeah.
I like it.
It's very solid. And I suspect it would see some. It's going to see some out of play. It's not going to be like jam 4 and everything, but like you can happily see sort of jamming 2 of these in order decks. Like
definitely, It's just
5/3 that just keeps you out of deadlock and gives you a little bit of speed hate.
And the art is absolutely stunning. They are planning a coup. You can see that they're quite stressed. And the head of the table is Historia. She is there. Yeah. She is the main focus point of the coup, and it's on that.
Is that her mum next to it? It looks like it's someone that could be her mum, right?
No, I think that's Armin. If you're
shirt?
If you're planning a coup, you bring the brilliant mind of Armin Alert. But no, I don't.
I'm just going off the hair.
I don't think Historia's mum's alive. Someone in chat will be happy to.
Given Attack on Titan, that's probably fair.
It's Armin, yeah. Thank you, Rebulin.
Okay, fine.
I knew it was Armin. Let's go. But
I'd be interested to know what the sort of kanji mean. Like,
I think that's either like just worry or like I don't know what the kanji is there. But it seems when you see something like that, it's usually more of an emotion or reaction rather than like worry. I think it's more going off their face. I think it's just we need to stage a coup and it's just everyone worrying. I mean, Connor, you might be right. Armin could be Historia's mother. It just says, there we go. Thank you, D-Rock.
Okay, fair.
I wish I had another clever tie-in for the next card. I really do. But there is no way for me to be able to tie in Grisha's transformation with Historia's coronation. Apart from the fact she transformed from Crystal Lens into Historia Reiss, but this is a 7-diff, 4 control, 2 mid block, Fury Titan, 3 high for 11 with Blitz Ruin 2.
I mean, it's very big, but it's just so very blockable. It's cool. It looks really cool, right? I don't know who Grisha is. I'm assuming that's who's sort of on the page with, but. It's just so slow is the issue.
Smiley loves this. Smiley turns it into a 6-14.
Yeah, but again, not really, because it's that 6 speed, right? Again, even at 6 speed, it's still very blockable for a 7 diff.
I'm just going to throw in my boy, Dabby, if you play this second, makes this a 3 high for 22 throw.
Yeah, if you can somehow make this a throw, right? Isn't there a...
can do it. Godzilla can do it if you're deadlocked.
Well, there's one of the Attack on Titan characters that gives a non-powerful attack throw, right?
Yes, there is. There's one so you can give this throw because it's not powerful.
Yeah, and so it can't gain powerful, and that's fine because it's just 11 flat damage capped. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to blow up 2.
You slam this into Elder Segura with Sports Festival Champ, and it becomes an 11-11.
Yeah, use Annie. Yeah, that sounds right, Rebby. But yeah, just like either some way of either making this a throw or really, really doing something with that speed, right?
As to your original question, who Grisha is, I believe Grisha was a attack titan before Erin. If we're going off like what we've seen for the cards, because I believe one of the cards we do have is called Grisha's attack titan.
Okay, and I guess this ties into Historia, right? If you look at the flavor text here, he comes here to steal away the power of the Reiss family. So this is sort of, I guess, partly who they're fighting against. But yeah, I mean, I suppose in a way it's sort of pseudo 5 speed with the Ruin 2 if they're not, if they don't have committed face downs. But I don't think the Ruin 2 save this from just being too slow for a 7 diff.
I mean, it's an uncommon. It's very good for basically going, you have to block this. And if you can chuck speed on it, if you can give it EX, if you can somehow bolster its speed.
It is at least an off zone, right? But, you play this and then you get hit by a showdown or something because this is, like I say, it's just so very blockable, and that's sort of my issue with it. But it does hit really hard.
Yeah, if you see this in your opponent's discard, you have to hold a high block. You can happily run 2 of these as highs and then make an entire low deck, knowing your opponent has to hold at least 1 high.
Yeah, and at least it's getting you some amount of value when you play. Even if they block it, you've blown up 2 of their things, hopefully, right? So, yeah. I mean, I guess I undervalue Ruin. Like in general, I don't put a high value on Ruin. But
I put a high value on Ruin now that we have Outwit, where we're being encouraged to play more face down cards that have these reactions, because it now becomes a basically mutually assured destruction of you need to have a way to keep your face down foundation safe, because ruin is going to take away your outwits away from you. It's a very cool cat and mouse kind of situation. Well, again, this is very cool. If it can hit, it's doing some serious damage, and it's something your opponent has to be aware of. And a 4-check is always nice. And I do like decent 4-checks. We are moving into fall, and after fall we have Christmas. And in Christmas we do like to eat some Yule logs. And as we can see here from Titan Training, Erin also likes to eat some logs. There we go. We got in another Tian. Titan Training, a 2-diff, 6 control, 2 low block with enhance. Flip your Fury or Titan attack, gets +2 damage on order attuned.
Yeah, I mean it's a nice 6 check for if you're doing the Titan attack thing on an order character, or if you're playing Fury. Like again, just a 2/6 that flips for +2 damage ain't the worst. It's got a nice 2 low block, like pretty decent. It's reasonable. Again, it's a question of, does that 6 check and the 2 low block make up for it being a reasonably modest ability on a 2-diff? Right, a flip for 2 damage on a 2-diff isn't crazy. But it does have that 6 check. It does have that 2 low block. So it's it's one of those. The sum of the parts probably make it worth it if you're doing either Fury or Titan things.
Given how much of Endeavor Freeze Kit is Fury and how much of the Order is now getting access to more Fury, I think a 6 check that just basically does your Fury attack gets 2 damage is a good clincher.
I mean, I think you want to specifically really be in the market for 6s, and like the 2 low is nice. Don't get me wrong; it's got a nice block on it as well. But it doesn't blow me away. It feels like it's not going to find slots unless you really really value that 6 check. I think
it's uncommon. It's good.
Yeah.
As an uncommon, it's playable. I'd happily throw this into a deck that's just basically going, I want to blow my opponent out of the water as quickly as possible, and this will allow me to do it. There was one other thing I wanted to point out that I have noticed in this set, and going back to Grisha's transformation. Look at the block zone, look at the attack zone. It has changed. That was only the cycle.
That was only. I mean, that was not the case, obviously, in the Deku set, and obviously not the case, I think, in a lot of these ones we've seen.
No, a lot of the cards we've now seen, we've broken the cycle of the attack zone blocking, matching the block zone. There's been a few that were released last week, some more that were released this week, and I want to talk about it here. Yeah, I think this is a great move to move away from it, because it was kind of limited deck building. It
made a little sense in AOT1, just because it was sort of pitched as like a starter/beginner set. So I understand the idea of doing that, and then sort of as we progress, sort of moving away from that, and then the necessity to do that. I suppose the other thing on Titan Training, going back to the previous card, is it does have the Fury and Titan keywords. Yeah. If that matters, right? There's going to be things where that does matter. That foundation having those keywords.
Well, Grisha's backup, Grisha's attack Titan, is a 2-cost backup that basically sits there, and then you sack it to go get a Fury attack from your discard. So these synergize quite well. But no, I think that's really cool. And my main issue with the old ones just being, set ones matching the attacks onto block zone was most of the the shift cards were high attacks, so you just ended up with decks that had a lot of high blocks. But it is time. It is. We are going to crown the new queen. Can everyone please take a moment in reverence to the dying of the old ways and get wrecked, as we have the coronation of Historia Reiss. 2 check, 5 control, 3 low with response, commit. After your opponent plays an effect.
And flip.
What's that?
Commit and flip.
Commit and flip. After your rival plays an ability on a foundation, commit all copies of that foundation in play. Deadlock form, commit one foundation in your rival stage. Order has a symbol identity, and that symbol identity is get wrecked, commit your board. I love this. Yes, it does say all copies, so you would be committing your own, but just the Queen's commandment of you played incubating, commit all copies of incubating. You played league interviews form, commit them all before you even make your first check. You want to play this game? Well, you're going to play it with unique foundations, one-off foundations, or I am going to commit your board down. Yes, it is a flip effect, but it's not like there isn't a bajillion ways to unflip cards in this game.
It's also not unique, right? So you can play multiples of these. This is solid. Like, this is good. I mean, it's a beautiful card to start with.
Card.
But like, it's a very real deadlock threat, right? Just a free commit your best thing every turn is good, because it is point and click commit. So a very real deadlock effect. Just take away the best piece. And then it's, I don't know quite how to evaluate that top top response. So it's a question. Yeah, it's things. Think about things like incubating, where your opponents are incentivized to be having sort of multiple copies in play, and then having an activated ability, right? And that isn't then shared with you. So, but like, as long as if sometimes even just getting a one committal off this, because you can do it effectively during their turn.
Yeah.
It's effectively stun you can have during their turn, commit them out, and then kill one backswing. But yeah, like weapons clash. Yeah, as Sketch says, weapons clash, Mikasa, Keiko's aids.
That's just
basic training, like.
While Smiling Titan is the big bad, people are running for of their control. They want to see their answers early, and unless it's an eaten by bearded Titan, you just get to shut them down. As I quite said, weapons clash, Mikasa defeats, Keiko's aid, incubating, speed hates, you get the fast friendships, you get the league interviews that make their checks cheaper. Basically, you just get to shut them down. And go.
Yeah, I mean, I guess something with like a fast friendship. Obviously, they flip it, then you do this. It's only going to commit remaining copies in play, right? It's not going to get the one that's flipped.
No, but you're going to get the other copies. But that's. I mean, it just lets you.
Like Immortal Shapeshifter is probably another good one where again they want multiple copies, and you just say no, commit all of them. I think. It's one of those cards where you probably play maybe one or two and maybe have sideboard more against those decks where they have those key foundations, like sort of Immortal Shapeshifter decks, that sort of thing.
For me, it's the fact it says ability, not enhance or response.
Yeah.
So basically, if they form with a foundation, you can commit them all. If they use any kind of ability, you just go, your entire board, just get your entire board of these cards, just get committed. It does suck if you have them as well, but luckily there are a lot of order characters like to blow up their own board for effects as well.
Yeah. I'd say, you commit down all their incredible displays, but then they just spend the momentum and cancel it. But
and if you're playing Historia anyway, you're not running that many multiple copies of foundations because you need to be building unique foundations down to be getting the wall counters and the health.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's incentivized to play a diverse stage anyway, so it works with her game plan. And obviously, the deadlock first form doesn't stack.
No.
So,
if you work with Crystal Lens as well, you can essentially stack your opponent's top of their deck to make sure they're always drawing multiple copies of foundations.
And
it's like, you can block this, but if you don't block it, then you're going to be drawing more copies of the foundations you have in stage, and my coronation gets even stronger.
Yeah, it's a solid card.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a 4-off card, but it's a solid card. We played. It's just a way of sniping their best stuff, right? Again, snipes are good. and there's not a huge cost. Just the commit and flip isn't huge, especially as it's sort of not doing anything until it does that.
For me, I love it for the flavour. It's the coronation of Historia Reiss, and the first thing we're getting is a Queen's Commandment. We're getting that immediate thing of you will commit your stuff. You will kneel in the presence of the Queen.
Yeah, she's just saying no to whatever the thing they just tried to do. Just says, no, you've just done that thing. We're not doing that anymore. I'm the Queen now.
It's kind of giving that powerful Queen vibe of you get one. You do that once, and then that's it. You don't get to do that again. You get one pardon. You mess with me again, and I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's solid. Like I say, it's as Sketch is saying in chat, it's not like a let's jam 4 and everything, but it is a good role player that I think we'll see play. So, it's a really, really solid card.
Yeah, this is definitely a 2 of in most on there. It definitely goes into the side. And the fact that you can play this with things like Iceblade Execution, where you go, I'll commit all of one card, and if you use any abilities, I'll commit all the other copies of the card. Just let you get down. It's a great way of setting up your Walk the Dog. You're basically going, use any ability. Make my Walk the Dog cheaper. Let's go. You've got Pressing the Advantage, which absolutely loves this. You've got Paul Walker. Not Paul Walker. That's Fast and Furious. Paul Phoenix, who basically goes, commit all your stuff down. Let my punch or kick get even more powerful. Yeah,
and this is sort of specific committal. Like you can save it for when it's relevant, right?
Yeah.
For when your opponent maybe overextends and they've got their 2 or 3 immortal shapeshifters or whatever it is in stage, and you just say, actually, no, I'm going to just commit and flip for stun 3, and they really have to then respect that, right?
And because it's response, I wonder how that interacts with. I guess they get to respond first, so they go. Immortal Shapeshifter, blow one up, respond to the destruction, check to game 1, respond, commit all your stuff down.
Yeah, and then I think you can't then respond with the others. Again, I don't know the rules. That I'm not going to worry.
You won't be able to respond. You won't be able to respond with the others if you had multiple, but you still get one chance.
Yeah. It doesn't cancel the ability they're doing, right? They just get one.
If we had a chain like Yu-Gi-Oh, it would. But
because it would all go on the stack and then blah blah. But there isn't a stack.
We don't have a stack, and I love that we don't have a stack. Please don't change it. Please don't change that. We don't need a stack.
And quite often, like just the threat of this being in play will make your opponent play differently, right? Because the idea they might get committed out on their turn, it's a very real thing.
Oh, definitely. And I do, because this is a much smaller set and you're going to see a lot more commons and uncommons of the same type flying around, I do expect that we will see this played a fair bit at the pre-releases that start on November 1st. Go to play.uk. Go to play.uk games and look for your local pre-release happening from the 1st to the 7th of November.
Mm-hmm. And then the official release is on the 8th, I believe.
Yes, the official release on the 8th of November, when this will be legal to play at all locals. Pre-release is a great way of getting in there early, and I think this is going to be a very popular set. The power that we've seen, and there's a lot more to come. We've only just scratched the surface of this set.
Yeah. I mean, go find your local LGS, find your local pre-release. Pre-release is always one of the best events. Like, they're just a fun way of getting into it. Everyone's effectively on a sort of equal footing. They're just playing with your 6-packs. You get some of the new cards. You get to sort of jam them into each other without the sort of aim out standard and sort of see how they start playing out to begin with, and sort of play some silly combos that you won't necessarily see symbol wise. They're a lot of fun.
I'm not caught up on everyone's yet, but I don't think we've seen any shift attacks yet, so I'm interested to see what the new shift attack's going to be like. But it is a crazy character. It is crazy in Paul Phoenix. We did bring that up. Paul Phoenix is going to absolutely love this 6. But these are our cards. I absolutely love that Universus gave us these. Gave us some quite thematic ones. Gave us some quite cool ones. As much as the 3 high for 11 it's the most blockable attack in the world. If it hits, it's devastating.
Yeah.
But I loved this. The moment I saw Coronation of Historia Reiss, I loved it. I steered heavily into it when we were talking about these previews. And unfortunately, Zale, unlike everybody else, we only got one UR. But to be
There's
fair,
only so many to go around, right? So,
but to be fair, last season we got Beast Titan and we got Beast Titan Call, and I don't think anybody else really got previews. And we ended up getting quite a few because we were doing interviews with UVS staff. So it evens out, and we did get some very cool cards. So we've been quite lucky. UVS have been very good to us, and even though we didn't get multiple URs, we still got very cool cards. And hopefully, when we come around to the SRs and possibly Chromes, UVS will give us some cheeky good ones to make up for the one UR.
Yeah, this set should have Chrome, shouldn't it? I mean, I assume Chromes have been officially announced for this set, right?
I think Chromes are going to be in every set moving forward.
I would think so, but I don't know. I don't know whether they've been officially announced or not. If Lee is still in chat and can confirm whether I'm going mad or not. Oh yeah, or Matlock.
There's been no Chromes confirmed, and we have had no Chromes before. We had Chromes in set 3 and then none in League of Villains, but then we've had them in every set from moving forward. So maybe we're just expecting them that. Zale said we know that there's Chromes. We know that there's 8 Chromes in Critical Role. We now know there's backups.
Again, I would presume there are Chromes in this set, but I just didn't know whether they've been officially confirmed their existence yet.
If there's anything we do on this channel that has now become our brand, it's speculate wildly. I've worked hard to create a crazy, wild speculation brand so I can say off-the-cuff weird stuff, and people are just like, oh, that's UK versus. They just say whatever pops into their head. Sometimes they're right, majority of the time they're wrong.
No, that's Brett, not UK versus.
Oh, just wait. I've got 2 Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theories that I have edited and recorded, and they're both as unhinged as each other. It's great.
Excellent. So yeah, that's some really cool reveals for you guys.
Community. I would probably change it to Tinfoil Community. There's no way there's going to be Chromes with everyone in the set, but it'd be very cool.
No, I would imagine there's 5 or 6 would be my guess. I would guess pairing it back to 5.
We don't know because there's 8 Chromes in Critical Role, so the numbers don't.
But that's going to be a bigger set, I think. I think Critical Role will be a bigger set. That's
we only got 6 in Attack on Titan. That was Battle for Humanity. That was a 300 card set.
Look, they're doing what they want to do. It's all good.
Trying to predict UVS's tactics is like trying to predict the ocean. You can only predict so much. I maybe seen some of the Chromes back at Gen Con. I think that Remy Lynn coming in with the spoilers that there are actually Chromes. Let's go.
Well, I mean, I assume from what Zale said, they've been officially confirmed somewhere. But yeah, we can sort of call it there, I guess.
We'll call it here. For those of you who are interested in the Oceanic Regionals, do check out twitch.tv Korino, Korrino. They are taking their streaming stuff out. They're currently working on getting some commentators, and they're going to be streaming. Basically, they've set up an entire schedule for the rounds. It's looking like a 1-day event of 12 to 13 people, and it looks like it's going to be a stacked event with Young Choi being there, Adarin, Keandre, and Carl are judging, and it looks like it's going to be absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, it starts a little bit too late for us. It starts about 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock our time, and will be wrapped up about 7 a.m. But as always, we will try and get the winner on for an interview.
Yes. Yeah, hopefully we should be back Sunday evening. Not sure we're going to talk about. Maybe look at some of the have we had all the characters previewed now?
I think that's all the characters. I think what we're most likely probably going to talk about is what we're expecting to see at regionals, even though you won't be there. I'm sure you've got some opinions of what we're going to expect. But that does depend on what time I get back, because I am supposed to be helping get over Demo Day in Wales.
Fair one.
And if I don't get back in time, then that's unfortunately not going to happen. And if we do come back before that, it's because UVS have sent us more treats to actually show you guys. Yeah.
So as always, thank you very much to UVS for letting us share these with you guys. And obviously, thanks to everyone in chat for following along with us. Obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, do all the usual things, like, comment, subscribe. Really, really appreciated. Obviously, go check out all the other content creators and give them some love too. And obviously then go off down to your LGS and take part in the pre-release, which is 1st to the 7th of November, and then the set release is on the 8th.
That's right. As I've ended a few of my videos, I'll end it the same here. The battle for humanity has started. It's now time to unlock our deck's Origin of Power.
I quit.
We'll catch you all in the next one. And if you're sticking around, I believe that Webcam Weekly with Tam starts in a few hours. Catch you in a bit.
Go sign up for Webcam Weekly. I don't know if it's the retro one, but yeah, go play some cards.
Bye.